Here's a couple of buddies. Look at the picture. Where do they live? What kind of neighborhood is it? How much do their parents earn, do you think? What's their school performance like? What kind of assumptions are you making when you answer these questions? How accurate could your assumptions be? Let's talk about this. Socioeconomic status and how that affects the classroom. We especially look at low SES, the lower areas of socioeconomic living in our country. What does it mean to live in low socioeconomic circumstances? It's probably going to mean the family, the child, is not going to necessarily have good access to a full range of health care from an early age. It very likely could mean very few resources to meet the family's needs. It could well mean very few resources for the child to get any kind of enrichment early in life, to have many varied kinds of experiences in the world. And it could very well be that this child has been living since birth with high levels of stress in the family, emotional, economic stress. And so when you have children like this who grow up under these kinds of circumstances, it does tend to create a situation where these children are not all that well prepared for school, intellectually, socially, emotionally. It's also very likely that these children will not have a good sense of their own ability to accomplish or succeed, called self-efficacy. And it's a good chance that they will be at-risk children right from the start, that they will exhibit low achievement levels and continue in a kind of frustrating way, and that could snowball. So let's look at this a little bit further. You have students coming into the school and into your classroom from these lower economic areas. You know what the risk factors are, you know what their backgrounds might have been like. It can lead to a certain kind of stereotyping and bias that's unintentional, that goes a little bit more than just knowing the risk factors and knowing the probabilities. Sometimes there's stereotyping that just gets a little bit harsher than that. And so you see children from these kind of situations dressed in a certain way or behaving in a certain way, and you say, see, now that confirms exactly what I was thinking about that child. Be careful. Be very, very careful with making assumptions beyond the risk factors that you have been taught about. So how do you take care of these students? Whether they're coming to you as first graders or fourth graders or eighth graders, what do you do? It requires great diligence on the part of the teacher, on the part of the school staff as a whole. It requires great diligence to keep these students on track, keep these students feeling like there is the possibility of success, of achievement. There is the possibility that you will build a success and you will start feeling greater and greater self-efficacy. Important here, any way you can, try to get parents involved. Try to get parents to communicate with you, with the school. Learn about the parents, learn about the neighborhood. Don't make it a one-way street. But it's especially important, especially in the younger years, it's especially important that parents understand and you give them some clues and some resources to help their child get better at reading and literacy skills. Why? Because as we know, reading is so foundational to everything that happens in school. It's going to be a foundation of literature, history, science, even math. You have to be able to read. So from the lowest age possible, you communicate to parents. It's important to read with your child. It's important to talk about what you're reading with your child. It's important to help your child find places to read and things to read. It doesn't always have to be books, but give them reading experiences and literacy experiences, because that will make such a difference in their continuing education. It's not easy working with low SES students, because it's very possible they're walking into the classroom with a set of attitudes and a set of expectations about themselves and about teachers that almost push you away. That's why the word diligence is a good word to stick in your head. You just keep plying, you just keep trying, and you do what it takes for the child and with the parents to make a difference, turn the attitudes around. You can't cure their SES status, but what you can do is you can give them a sense of optimism and hope and a sense of self-efficacy. That's what they really need. So go do some more research on this and review material. It's an extremely important topic, and for some of you it will be even more than extremely important. Good luck.